If you suspect someone is overdosing and needs Narcan, first check to see if they are having trouble breathing or will not wake up. Then insert the nozzle into the nose, press firmly on the plunger. Once administered, call 911, wait to see if the Narcan works, and stay until an ambulance arrives. With the shelves cleared and doors locked, the Kroger on Western Avenue is no longer serving residents in the LaSalle Park neighborhood. Those looking to get groceries now have to cross this major intersection to get to Martin's, the closest chain grocery store in the area. Those numbers can be seen on the new Michigan voting dashboard. Berrien, Cass, Van Buren, and St. Joseph County combining for over 15,000 early votes cast in just 4 days. St. Joseph County seeing over 600 ballots cast daily, a stark comparison to the under 600 total voters seen in the August primary. Those high turnouts surprising voters at the polls. Now right behind me is a house that was hit extremely hard by the storms. I'm going to step out of the frame, give you a better view of what we're looking at. As you can see, a whole portion of the side of this house got torn away and is exposed from that storm. Branches are covering the area, littering the sidewalk, as well as parts of the house. Now a tree also seems to have fallen on top of this car, smashing through the windshield. Now this is just a fraction of the damage here in Bourbon. We've heard about and seen a lot of other businesses and homes damaged by this storm. Now just up the road from us, Rose Lane is closed. Rescue crews there had to stop working for a few moments as another severe storm passed through the area. And on the way into town, we saw 3 semis turned over on US 30. Now, it was a huge pileup, even calling in a crane to help try to clear those semis. It is still closed near Bourbon, and there is no word on when that will reopen. We're continuing to search through the town of Bourbon, looking at damage, finding out more. As we continue to find that out, we'll keep you updated on air and online at WSBT.com. Live in Bourbon, I'm Asher Bookspan, WSBT 22 News. As you can see behind me, there's still multiple departments out here working to battle the fire. Now I'm going to step out of the frame, give you a better view. That smoke that we've been showing you since 10 o'clock today, continuing to just fill the entire area, billowing out of the building, covering the ground. Now water's also covering the ground. Crews are working to try and unclog some drains, let that water go. Now we also are seeing flames continue to shoot out of the building, with crews working to put them out just as fast as they see them, but that's been on and off happening for about the last hour. Now, Elkhart Fire Department officials confirm multiple crews, including Cleveland and Bago Townships, have helped respond, adding that the entire Elkhart's Fire Department has rotated shifts tonight as they work to put out the fire. Now, they also tell me that the fire did start on the roof, and parts of the fire are so-called trapped in parts of the roof. Now, one firefighter has also been injured. We're told those injuries are minor, but he was taken to a nearby hospital. Now, I also spoke to a resident at the complex. He told me he's never seen anything like this and described the moments he walked out and saw the fire.
First it was just smoke, and then it came out later, and then like there's flames up there right now. So after seeing the flames, I'm like, oh, they still, like it's getting worse. But they said they got a grip on it, but they just still trying to maintain the fire and trying to keep it down so they can find out exactly what happened.
Now, we're still working to find out exactly what started this fire and if any residents at the complex were injured. As we find out more, we'll keep you updated on air and online at WSBT.com. For now, live in Elkhart, I'm Asher Bookspan, WSBT 22 News.
Happy birthday to you. With this kind of support, he's going to make it. He's going to walk again.
That birthday song was only part of today's message. The bigger one came from hundreds of motorcycles, all riding for Deputy Samuelson and a family facing a long road to recovery. More than 300 riders taking part in a benefit ride for Deputy Samuelson and his family. The ride, organized by Warriors Oath VMC out of Plymouth, started in LaPorte, stopped at Franciscan Health in Michigan City, and ended in South Bend at Memorial Hospital, where Samuelson is recovering. In an exclusive interview with WSBT 22, his father shared an update on that recovery.
He's getting stronger every day. They removed the feeding tube. He got to drink his first Sprite. He really enjoyed that, and he had a rough night, but he's getting stronger every day, and that's all we're asking for, is just that he gets a little stronger every day.
Samuelson comes from a long line of law enforcement. His grandfather served for years as police chief in LaPorte. His father is a former Michigan City police officer. Doug Samuelson says today's turnout shows how deeply this community supports the people who serve and protect it.
Pretty emotional from this few days, but the support we've gotten from the community, the police departments, South Bend Police Department, the FOPs, just citizens is amazing. Shows that they do appreciate the jobs that these officers put on themselves every day. Can't say enough about this.
And that support stretched far beyond LaPorte County. Riders came from across the region, saying they wanted the Samuelson family to know they're not alone.
When it comes to this community coming together, there's people that are here from Michigan, from Fort Wayne, there's people here from Chicago. Basically, there's really no mileage that set anyone aside.
Wish his family well, and if there's any other support that they need, reach out to the community, because this is a time, I think, doesn't matter if you're county resident, city resident, Michigan City, LaPorte, neighboring county, we'll pull together and help.
There are other ways to continue to support the Samuelson family. South Bend Police has organized an online meal train to send food to the family. That information will be on our website at WSBT.com. In the studio, I'm Asher Bookspan, WSBT 22 News. Students at 5 schools will be reassigned to other school districts, with one school being split between 2 elementary school buildings. We start with pre-K students from Hawthorne relocated to Roosevelt Elementary. Officials say Roosevelt is equipped to meet the demands of those early learners. Now Bristol is the next school to see students shift, moving to Eastwood Elementary, as Bristol is only serving 246 students out of the 850 that it could. Oslo also seeing students on the move, relocating to Pinewood Elementary. Oslo also under that 50% capacity mark. Woodland Elementary students are going to be going to Cleveland, the district citing upkeep, operational costs, and declining enrollment trends at Woodland. And finally, Mary Beck will see his students going to 2 different elementaries, Monger and Riverview. Now, which students will go there will be based on boundary lines. Those changes are estimated to save the corporation big money, saying it'll reduce utility costs per year by almost $700,000 and $87 million by consolidating the space over 11 years. Students are not the only ones impacted. Staff is going to be reduced as well. Administration is going to see a 24% reduction over the next 2 years. Certified staff seeing a 5% reduction, and then there will be a 7% drop in classified staff, aiming to save almost $6.5 million yearly. Now, Superintendent Larry Huff says while it was an emotional process, emotions did not have the final say in the recommendations.
We looked at enrollment trends, we looked at operational costs, we looked at boundary lines, we looked at instructional integrity. Lots of factors to be considered in. Year-long process. We looked at our financial trajectory. We brought in experts to do facility studies. We really wanted to make sure the community had access to as much information as possible.
We have been through this process and other changes as we've had to close buildings or switch schools throughout this last few years. So we have no misconceptions that this is going to hurt individuals, but at the same time we're going to do it in the best way possible to make sure that everyone involved is given a fair shot.
Elkhart Community Schools will now move into phase 3 of their plan. That's where they'll in part determine what exactly to do with those buildings. Now, it's also anticipated students would change schools next school year. We have that full consolidation presentation on our website at WSBT.com. JP, they told me that the problem is frustrating, especially after repeated attempts at getting help, but they also told me that they feel they're not being taken seriously by the county.
I don't know how else I can say it and make it more urgent than what I've already said.
Streets filled with water in the Wedgwood Park subdivision in St. Joseph County near the state line in 933. Residents say the problem comes from uncleaned and overfilled dry wells, not allowing water to drain. Homeowners say they're working hard to keep the streets clear of yard waste so more doesn't end up in the dry wells. One neighbor says it's a safety concern for his children.
Yeah, there's, like I said, kids play in the puddles, and cars don't like to stop at yield signs or stop sign nowadays. And I got 3 kids myself, and people just don't watch out for the kids, and especially with the roads being smaller than normal because of the water puddling, makes it more difficult.
Neighbors tell me that people are calling the subdivision Lake Wedgwood, and it's easy to see why. With roads already underwater and more rain in the forecast, homeowners are hoping for help before it gets worse.
We're not complaining about every little thing that happens. This has been an ongoing, at least 10-year issue. And you would think, you know, I don't want to be appeased. I want this issue resolved so, you know, our neighborhood can continue to be a safe, happy, healthy place to live.
Lyon adding she's reached out to the county to try and get it resolved.
I've had emails back saying we're going to try to get out here. We don't have the funding. We're working on potholes and so on and so forth. But when are we going to become important?
We've reached out to the county about the Wedgwood subdivision and are waiting to hear back. We'll update you tomorrow with those details. At the live desk, I'm Asher Bookspan, WSBT 22 News. So I went to the county engineer. He told me it's a problem he's aware of, and it's been an issue for decades. But fixing it means spending big bucks.
It's a problem that I would like to address right now, but there's just not the funding to do it.
The problem the St. Joseph County engineer would like to solve is flooding in the Wedgwood Park neighborhood. Sky Metters says this isn't a new problem. It goes back to how this subdivision and others built in the 1950s and 60s were originally designed with drainage systems.
At that time, they handled drainage a little different than we do now. And the drainage that was built by the developer wasn't necessarily adequate to handle and convey the runoff out of the subdivision.
Metters saying in the 2000s, the county took a look to see how much it would cost to fix the issues in that area after a project in the 1970s to fix the issue ran out of funding. Back then, it was estimated to cost around $3 million. He says today, it could be almost $7 million. I asked Metters why the county lacks funds to make a fix.
Dry wells are not the way to solve these types of problems. It would take a piping system somewhere to convey the water, to store the water, like a basin or some sort like that. It's just we do not have the money and funds to do it. There are no designated funds in the county for subdivision drainage projects unless your subdivision is an urban drain.
Metters says the lack of funding has created a cycle of maintenance that prevents them from fixing the issue.
We go out and maintain them so that they can try and drain as quickly as possible, but it doesn't matter how much we go out there. We could go out and clean them every day, but if you get a rainfall that's enough, it's still going to cause flooding in the street because they're just not sized or big enough to handle the storm.
Since our original story aired last week, neighbors tell us they've been contacted by elected officials about the flooding. Metters adds that he has crews scheduled to go out and vacuum the dry wells every other month and sooner if needed to drain them. At the live desk, I'm Asher Bookspan, WSBT 22 News.